Do they get me hyped? Because you have to be hyped to go through all the different, like, it's kind of like Indiana Jones or like a big heist. Like, to get these deals going, you have to do whatever it takes. You have to put yourself out there. So you have to have that fire in you. And the great clients light that fire in me.
What do you promise your writers?
I don't like looking necessarily like there's a template, because I do think each writer is unique and has unique, you know, sense of, priorities for what they want. But I guess when you look at it, maybe not necessarily a promise is what I guess an expectation of a manager, is that they need to be able to work together and look at like material and figure out which concepts may be more viable and develop them, and then like take them out to market. And doing these things are very, very important to any writer. And so it's not just putting somebody in a room, because sometimes like writer just go have a meeting, but why are you having the meeting? Like, is this person specifically looking for this kind of material? I think that's also important. It's not just, oh, let's just show off, like, here, have a meeting here, because there's some pointless meetings in Hollywood. I'll tell you, like, there's meetings that you'll leave with, like, they'll give you a water bottle and you're like, I got a water bottle, and that was it. Like, if I have a meeting, I want my clients to get paid at some point from that relationship. I want to make sure that it's the right person at the right time. That maybe it's not now, but 6 months from now, I get a phone call from this producer and says, I'm absolutely looking for that writer, looking for that kind of writer that I met. So there needs to be pragmatism from the beginning of like development of an idea to taking it out to establishing a network in the industry, that you're not just arbitrarily doing something. But I would never just go, just write something or just meet somebody. It needs to have a purpose. So that's a lot of my goal, is working in conjunction with a client. Sometimes that means also working with an agent, like an agent and a lawyer or a publicist. Like, there's different collaborators that could get pulled into a team, and each team's unique. And for me, I want to make sure that I have a great relationship and shorthand with all the members of the team.
What do you not promise your writers?
I never set like a frame, like this is going to be this, or it's not going to be that. Like, I kind of keep it flexible, but what I could say is this: I'm a passionate person. I believe in your work. I'm going to do whatever it takes to advance, our agendas, which is to build like either building a viable business out of a client, or if a client is already a business, how to maintain that business and make it bigger.
And so do they have to exclusively work with you? You make them sign something where they would only work with you?
I don't necessarily look at it like exclusively. So like, I work with agents all the time. I love collaborating with the right agent. So like, I could have an agent that I have a good, already have a good relationship with, and then they have qualities that they bring to the table. So for me, it's not proprietary over the client. I want to get the right agent, ideally, the right lawyer, and then some clients might, want a publicist, maybe specifically for film festivals, or one of the movies get released, work with the publicist. So to me, it's almost like each client is its own unique business that we're working together. So, a manager and agent could have multiple businesses running at once. It's different than being a producer, where you have a movie, most likely you make the film, it gets released, everyone makes their money, it's done, unless it's like a franchise or the spin-offs. But let's say it's just a normal film. A client is going to always be building new opportunities, and potentially could take assignments or sell something. So there's so many more variables as an individual than it's just a one-off movie that gets released. So to me, it's just being receptive to those needs and seeing opportunities as they present themselves.
What do you look for in a client?
I think that like the client that I want to work with connects my taste. So I think that like anybody in this industry, just because like, if let's say a manager and agent passes on them, it doesn't mean that they're not amazingly talented. It just means that maybe that rep has different tastes. Like my tastes are not like, it's not like math. You know, it's not like this indisputable thing. It's more like, this is a fact. Is this person, you know, good or bad? It's more like I read the script, you know, I watch a movie, and then I'm passionate. Like it moves me emotionally, because I do think that, like, you know, like living's hard. Like just the day to day, it's just like you get apathetic, you had a hard day or whatever. And sometimes you're just like, all right, this day felt like the next day, and you're like, whatever. But if you read a really good script, it stops time. You're like, oh my God, like I'm feeling this writer's voice. Like it just is moving me. And that's the kind of client that I want, is that they move me specifically. They might not remove the other manager, you know, at this company, and that's fine. Or vice versa. There might be a totally viable client that doesn't excite me, but another manager loves working with them. So it's very specific to my curation. Is going to be that, do they get me hyped? Because you have to be hyped to go through all the different, like, it's kind of like Indiana Jones or like a big heist. Like to get these deals going, you have to do whatever it takes. You have to put yourself out there. So you have to have that fire in you. And the great clients light that fire in me. And now beyond that aspect of it, we also need to have like a good back and forth. Like it needs to be like, hey, we're working together because we like, you know, we like each other enough. You know, it doesn't mean like, oh my God, like this client is exactly like me. I'm not looking for me. I don't care if they're different backgrounds, everything. To me, it's not like I'm looking for like, I want to rep myself. I want to rep voices that excite me because I never seen anything like it. That's what gets me into it. So I'm just meaning that we have a relationship that is really about listening to each other and respecting each other and open to different ideas. And once you have the work that makes you get moving and get going and making things happen, plus you have that partnership where we could adapt to, like we're saying, the chaos of anything that is thrown at us, that's like the ideal client for me.
When you say chaos, what kind of chaos could come up?
I think that like the entertainment industry is unlike a lot of other fields because how quickly it mutates. There's always new opportunities, but at the same time, there could be new risks. So what you think you know, let's say from the 90s, may not work now. Or what it's just everything's rapidly changing, which is why, you know, it's also kind of fun because you're like, who knows what's happening next? But it just means you just have to keep your eye out there and see what's happening and be like tapped in to these innovations. And that's, you know, to me, what the chaos is. It's like, and that bleeds into your day-to-day too. So on a macro level, there's all these shifts, but it creates ripple effects that you feel, you know, immediately. And that's what you have to be okay with. You're not getting into this business because you're like, you want something that's very like stagnant. You get into it because you want something that could just be super compelling all the time because you don't know what's going to happen next. And to me, that's why I'm excited about my work.
Do you like to be kept guessing sometimes?
It's not that I want to be kept guessing, is that like I've always been interested in media and technology. Like I've always been interested in movies, how they're distributed, how they're monetized. So for me, I love just seeing this world shifting and seeing new like possibilities. Like so when you see Netflix and suddenly you watch like, you know, a limited series like Queen's Gambit on, you're like, wow, like that's possible. Like I haven't seen a limited series like that before. So like to me, it's about getting inspired. Like, you know, I'm very open to finding inspiration as new projects get made and new businesses advance. And then you could see like an opportunity like podcasting. Podcasting is started to blow up, and it's so much fun to also manage some podcasters and work with them and work on those unique deals that are starting to surface from major companies. So that's what gets me, and it's the inspiration around these new innovations. That's what gets me like, interested in the next one.
And you had a podcast yourself?
Yeah, I had a podcast called Hollywood 2.0, and it was basically a podcast that covered the intersection of media and technology. And we talked to everybody from like people who create virtual reality, people who created distribution companies digitally. And it was exciting to just see like what the Trailblazers are doing.
And did you notice, I don't know what year you started that, by the way?
I don't remember exactly when I started. I did it for a few years and, before I was a manager. And it was also fun. It was like seeing it and then seeing how other people are experiencing the industry and where it's going. Because the people I talked to were the ones that are always on the bleeding edge of innovation. So somebody could be from like the Sundance innovation, at Sundance studying virtual reality and innovation, and that speaker could be coming from that point of view. So to me, it was fun to watch these businesses evolve, and some of them actually, one of them got acquired. One of the founders like sold a podcast company. So it was really cool to see the acquisition and see money move into the podcast space, and that was like the early sign of the signals of things to come. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. In a lot of ways, I keep doing it like through my work by seeing, maybe a movie that I have a client makes could also be a TV show. Like, how do you spin off a film into TV? And that's starting to become like, you start seeing that people are thinking that way. Like, you'll see a show that will be starting as a movie. And like recently there was a great film that's on Netflix called The Hater. And that was, sold to HBO as a TV show pitch. So that's something that's really unique to me. I'm like, wow, like you could do that. So that's why I get inspired. But it's like, what if I got one of my clients' movies and sold it? Like that kind of thing always keeps me thinking.